of Ian Rush, 36 now, Eddie. And perhaps our premier referee. Underway then at Belmore, and Marconi playing in the red and white. Slightly unfamiliar look about them, but of course having to change from blue so there's no clash with the dark blue of Olympic and Branko Cellino. We'll be optimistic about chances here today. I guess the overcast conditions might have kept a few away, but a very good crowd filling the grandstand opposite our commentary position. Cardozo and Emerton down the right. The ball just skipping away from him, and a real sense of anticipation about seeing Ian Rush in Australia, Alan Hunter.
Well, I'm sure the crowd will get right behind him when he does receive that first touch. As we've said before, an honour to have him here in our country. And at his age, I'm sure, as his players have said, and they would have noticed in the 2 training sessions already, he's got a lot to offer.
So Olympic have not won at home yet. 2 draws and a loss, but they've won all 4 matches away. So they've got a strange start to the season, but a good one nonetheless. Free kick goes to Marconi. Chad Gibson gets himself up and away. And Marconi haven't lost away. They've won 2 and drawn 2. So curious records for both, but they find themselves level on the table on 14 points. And a good result today will really help set them up for the middle stages of the season. Olympic throw-in. It's come off Brendan Renault.
And Chris Zoricic playing his first full game, his first start today for Sydney Olympic after having niggly injuries when he did change clubs.
Rush.
Certainly timely, isn't it, to come in and play with such a great player.
Rush again. Laying it back for Bailey. And it doesn't really matter who you are. Very difficult to slide straight into a foreign combination. So we'll have to allow Ian Rush a bit of time to feel his way.
It's been a couple of months since he's played a game of football. But as you said, he's played so many of them. It's like brushing your teeth.
Bailey. Bailey looks up. But, goes back instead to Sekenis. Now Emerton. Got a nice touch from Rush. His path to the ball was cut off by Renault. With defence from Marconi. With Rush threatening early. McDonald. Bailey again. Emerton. Emo the call. You might be hearing from our effects microphones, but Renault intercepts again. Sense a feeling of anticipation around the ground that something special might happen today, almost amongst the players as well. There's not an intensity there just yet, Alan.
Yeah, you do. You can sense it immediately. But let's not forget the other talent that's on display. Cardozo, playing up there now, giving away the foul, has been on fire. He's scored a few goals already, 4 in fact. And I'm sure the matchups out wide with Emerton against Renault will be something to look forward to as well, Steve.
McDonald loses his footing, but keeps possession pretty well. Kerr plays it early. Looking for Babbage. Bustled off the ball by Bailey. And a chance for Marconi.
And Babbage is a master at getting into those positions on that occasion.
Took it quickly. And won themselves a corner. Eddie Krinčević starting to make his mark at Marconi in the shoes of Frank Farina, who's got bigger shoes to fill himself these days. Interesting series against Brazil. From Frank's point of view, the second game rather more interesting. Signal given by Renault. And Trajanowski nods it back in. And Bohutsis gathers it second time.
Well, that was almost the first beautiful in-swing of air to the near post. The Hooters couldn't do it, but certainly Phillips cleared it off the line against his former club.
Lindsay Wilson scored last week, sniffing around again, but they've surrendered it a little too easily. Trajanowski starts to motor up the right. Had Maloney inside, couldn't find him. Crowd on that side on his case. Branko Chelina not happy. Rob Wheatley, your early impressions.
Steve, I think what you do notice down here, the extra zip in the pitch, the rain, the sprinkling rain, has just given a little bit of a added pace to the ball. Players still getting used to that, but I do like the fluency of Olympic in the opening 5.
McDonald. Has to content himself with a Marconi throw-in. And Marcus Phillips with him. Well, Marconi having a little bit of trouble finding a loose player to throw to. And the brilliant defence of Olympic in the early parts of the season, evident early here. As you mentioned, the second best defence in the league, only conceding 5 goals. It's a fair beard Bahoutis is sporting in late 99. Take that one into the new millennium. Thomas sends it back to Bahoutis. Maloney looking to put some pressure on and does so. Peter Sitkenis. Mendes missing out, but falls to Thomas. And throw-in only for Olympic. Wilson on that side had the couple to beat. Branko Chelina still not happy. Rush. And Smith with him. And we expect Mike Smith to be picking him up in the early stages.
Good skills though from Mendes. He hooked it over nicely, and Ian Rush obviously doing a little bit too much with his arms. Well spotted there by Eddie Lenny. But he's so dangerous in that position, Ian Rush. Scored so many goals with his head, the volleys. He's a predator. And that's why he has been such a great marksman over his career.
353 goals. At better than 1 every 2 games. Wilson flips it to the corner. Emerton, and the free kick goes to Marconi.
Well, I think Olympic will be happy if he gets just 1 in the 2 games that he's performing in Australia for.
Well, he's more than happy, as he says, just to provide the goals. He'd rather the team won and he didn't score than the other way around. And we'll hear a little bit from Ian at half-time. Renault. And just watching Sean Babbage there, he looks a little bit proppy. The Marconi striker, and is hobbling back towards halfway, so we'll keep an eye on him. Cardozo. Buddy Farah there.
Well, Steve, just quickly, Alan mentioned the predator. I think everyone will be looking for that tonight. The back pass to George Bahoutis has proved it, but it's just going to take a little bit extra touch to control, to clear, and any shots on target are going to have to be really followed up quickly.
Gibson's clearance partially blocked, but Marconi now can work it up over halfway. Renault asked to hurry after this one, but Emerton's going to match him for pace. A little tug on the shirt there from Renault. But, Eddie Lenny either didn't see it or chose to let it go, and no damage done. Rush. Mike Smith, it's his head to it, so it'll be an Olympic throw-in. It's a couple of years at Juventus in between his 2 stints at Liverpool. And actually, when he came back to Liverpool, was probably his better stretch, Alan.
Well, I think he's just a performer that has always scored goals, and as you said earlier, his statistics have proven that. But it's something that he can rub off to the youngsters here in his short visit. And certainly the crowd will enjoy it once this game gets underway. It's been a good battle so far. Marconi coming back in a little bit. McDonald down the left.
Yes, he's shown a bit of space. Now, Phillips and Emerton. Look quite alike, Phillips and Emerton.
I think good point you made as well. There's a few players there that will find it very physically demanding, having played and performed and trained for the Socceroos over the past 5-6 days. Obviously, Babbage being one, Maloney another, Brett Emerton. So it's testing, but very nice conditions to play football. Ian Rush will be suited to it.
I just think Marconi, without Mark Babbage and Dominic Longo, or Francis Awaratifi, their depth is certainly going to be tested, and as is their height, or lack of it. Zoricic back to George Bahoutzis. And a miss-hit. He's got to work on that slice, hasn't he? Renault through to Babbage. Lost out to Thomas there initially, but Maloney helps get it back. A lot going to be asked of the Marconi skipper today. Certainly wouldn't want to relive last year's horror of 5-0. And Cardozo got a couple that day. Smith. Mendes, ex-Northern Spirit, and that's come off McDonald's face. He's a bit worse for wear. Shakes away the pain. So 5 minutes gone. Well, a bit more than that. Clock's playing up. Trajanowski, and Mark Babbage has got a couple as well. Well, of concern to Marconi will be the 11 goals they've conceded this season. He's opening up in midfield. Can Everton make use of it? Smith. Babbage. Marconi throwing. In the early rounds last season, Alan really struggled to find the net, didn't he? But he's started quite differently this year. He's one of the top goal scorers.
Well, his call-up to the Socceroos was certainly deserved on his form, and that's what confidence is all about when you're a striker, and he's shown a lot of it in recent weeks.
Maloney. Back to Renault. Babbage felled in the box, but under a fair tackle. McDonald has a Bahoutzis swing at that when Marconi players taking knocks early. On the bench for them today, Paolo Marcassini, Vlado's point of view, the later they have to use them, the better.
There's a lot of strike force on both benches, isn't there, with Sydney Olympic having Aaron Basic, unfortunately left out for Ian Rush. Also, Nick Carl and Peter Zorbas.
So Olympic trying to mount something on the right now. Really not had a genuine chance. And despite the appeals of Scott Thomas, the goal kick against Newcastle, I think it was.
And Steve backed that up when we were ABC was covering the match last week against Northern Stewart. Excellent game, strong in the air, good communicator with his players, and will be needed again today.
Well, Cardozo, he's won the corner. He's appealed to Eddie Lenny, so that's come off.
Well, settled, but just couldn't quite get it on target. But good pressure there, forced the corner.
A rush is in the 6-yard box, as you'd expect. And they've been able to let that one go, so
Mildly.
really quite still conditions at Belmore. The players still coming to grips with the pitch. It's a bit slippery, a bit quick. Zoricic, Emerton, trapped under the feet of McDonald, and he comes away with it. Babbage. Phillips, Mendes, Emerton, yes! Fred Emerton. Well, it's his first goal this season. Received a dream ball, finished well, in off the post. Not too much that Michael Turnbull could do about that.
Perfectly weighted ball it was. The man that didn't deliver the nice corner earlier, but he does this time, and Emerton finishes it in style. No chance there for Turnbull, but just have a look at Mendez's through ball. Inch perfect, and that one's in off the post. You don't stop those. What a great start for the home side. And this is how the goalkeeper would have seen it, or may not have seen it until it was too late. But this is the start that they needed, similar to the one they had here last year.
Well, they might get another here. Scott Thomas couldn't get a purchase on it. Phillips. Play on. Rush. They've done everything but score. They scramble it away through Farah. Phillips. Maloney. 3 on 4. That needs to be a good ball for Babbage, and he can't control it. His first touch not there, so Bahoutzis receives it gratefully and comfortably.
Well, the second goal there would have been so difficult for Marconi to come back from. Finished by a beautiful cross. Perfect cross there by Ian Rush, but they just couldn't finish it off.
It's a significant advantage for Olympic is that Ian Rush, his reputation and his ability will draw players to him, and that frees up others.
They need to settle and hold the ball up.
Dixon with a long ball. Bailey just ducks under it. Emerton, a class player, Alan. You wonder how long it'll be we can keep him in this country, because Europeans, you'd imagine, would find him a tasty proposition as he latches onto this ball from Rush. His attempted cross is blocked by Renault.
With all the quality players that have been approached or travelled overseas, but I think you'll see the improvement in the play have benefited from that at this early stage of the match.
Farah plays it back to Turnbull. He nearly embarrassed himself with the ultimate disgrace. Well, not nearly. The crowd was hoping so. Smith. Rush beside him. Kerr playing his 50th game. McDonald. Red and white's drifting forward. Kerr. Oh, yes, it's in! What a shot! Christian Kerr. Well, it just means that he's playing his 50th game. A Marconi Jr. And that was quite a strike. It just snuck under Bahoutzis.
Well, he was given too much space there. Beautiful little run there from McDonald. He's drawn Zoricic. Laid it off nicely. He got a lovely bounce, and the half volley's an absolute cracker. And the ground would have made it very difficult for Bahoutzis. He receives it there, gets a nice little half volley, and hits it ever so well. And Bahoutzis could only just manage to get a hand on it. But there's a lot of venom in that one. And what a return by the travelling Marconi side. We've got a real game now, Steve. Christian Kerr, what a beauty.
Couple of goals in 5 minutes and 1-1. Well, just as Eddie Krinčević must have been cringing, thinking he was in for a game like Frank Farina had here last year. His team have answered in the best possible way. Cardozo to the corner, Gibson with him. Seen away by Trajanovski, knocked back in, but Turnbull. Well, Rob Wheatley, we've got the match we were hoping for.
Well, certainly have, and pardon me, I think the no prizes for guessing the type of comment that came from Branko Chelina after that goal. The quick message to George Bahouchis was to apply a lot more pressure to the strike, and although there was a late challenge, Steve, it did come late, and the fantastic reply, that's what Marconi definitely needed.
Sekenis brings it up for Olympic. The skipper, Rush, holding it up. Back to Thomas, and no chance.
Weren't the best, but certainly the pitches aided the strike there from Kerr. It just skidded very dangerously, and Bahouchis couldn't do much more than just get a hand on it.
Here's Cardozo. And Smith trying to barge his way through. Cardozo kept his head. Mendes. Emerton back to Cardozo. Looking for Rush. Nice layoff to Emerton. Oh, and up goes Turnbull. It was nearly an unkind deflection.
Ian Rush involved there, just laying that off earlier. Good challenge, though, because Wilson was in a very good position there to get a strike, and Ian Rush couldn't quite force another error, if you like, from the Marconi goalkeeper.
Sekenis and Trajanovski. Trajanovski there first. Come back to Kerr. Smith now. Curls one in. Bahouchis comes, retreats, and the header well clears the bar. So just scattering. In the big grandstand on the far side, they're sitting comfortably. 4 shots on goal apiece. A goal apiece. Maloney. Invincible did all right, but couldn't deliver it to Trajanovski.
Babic over the last 5 minutes, he looks to maybe just doing a little bit tired after a pretty busy week for him, having called into camp, but looks to be running quite smoothly now. The main part in midfield, Marcus Phillips been asked by Branko Chelina to apply more pressure to the goal scorer Kerr, and to do it very quickly.
Okay. Played wide to Bailey. Straight back towards Emerton. Oh, so Emerton now, after receiving it from Phillips. Renault lost track of the ball for a moment, was busy appealing. That's not bad off his less favoured right foot. Across by Zoricic. Thomas. Phillips, allowed to run, might have a shot, just chips it in towards Rush. And now Trajanovski. Kerr on his left, turns away from him and gives possession to Sekenis. Pretty strong over the ball, the Olympic skipper. Renault trying to get there first. Free exchange of possession in midfield, and the pitch just looks like it's chopping up a little in the middle. Not in as good a condition as it might be.
No, it's very deceptive, the pitch in the middle of the ground. I had a little walk on it before the match, and it is a lot bumpier than what it may appear. But these teams will love to play on the flanks, and it will suit them as well. It's a lot more lush out there.
Sekenis. Cardozo.
Eddie Krinčević catching that, but you know, some nice first-time touches. Mendes, Emerton, Phillips also on occasions, and that's the key on these conditions. More fluency required from Marconi, and breaks by McDonald.
Here is McDonald. Bahutsis comes. Oh, McDonald is down rather theatrically. Turns to look at Eddie Lenny.
Well, there's no way in the world he was going to get that ball, but he always got there before the goalkeeper, and Bahutsis again struggling. But whether he would have retained possession or not is the likely reason that Eddie Lenny didn't see a penalty. But this is a late one.
And Smith on rush earns himself a yellow card.
You can put that one down in the scrapbook, Mike Smith. He tackled and fouled and performed against one of the best strikers in the planet. But there's no doubt that that one's a late challenge, and a yellow card came out pretty swiftly from Eddie Lenny's pocket.
19th yellow card for Marconi this season. They've also had 3 red cards. Mark Babbage, Seski and Longo have all been dismissed. And we've also had a few red cards already this round. Adelaide forced to play half a game with 9 men on Friday night. Show you a bit of that at half-time as well. Mendes cuts inside. Looking for Cardozo. Would have been better if Rush was there. He's a bit taller. Marconi eventually clear. And as far as Zoricic now. Thomas. And that'll be an Olympic throw-in.
It's amazing how players tend to overdo things when they have a foreign player in the likes of Ian Rush, and they sometimes look for him a little too much.
Bit over half an hour gone. Goal apiece. Olympic first through Brett Emerton in the 18th minute, and then 5 minutes later, Christian Kerr. If you're just joining us. Sekenis. Bailey checks the options and takes a poor one, giving it straight to Renault. He's tackled by Cardozo, and Emerton skillfully. McDonald away from Phillips. Trajanowski. Well, Sekenis read it well enough. He's 6 years old now. The Olympic skipper has scored this season. But again, it's Cardozo with 4, who's their main scorer, Olympic. Now Renault to take the throw in for Marconi. To McDonald. Sekenis. McDonald, he gives 100%. He's a very physical player.
Well, there's a lot at stake there, isn't there? Both teams sitting on 14 points and trying to bridge that gap. With Carlton losing on Friday night, the opportunity's there.
Renault. It's left foot to ball. Bahutsis comes, and that's a more authoritative take from the Olympic keeper. Farrow rounds it up for Marconi and Kerr. Crowd's gone a little quiet. They're in good voice for a few minutes when their team hit the lead. But Marconi have shown they're more than a match for Olympic in the last 10 minutes or so. Mendes. Now Thomas. Gets momentarily away from Kerr, who comes again.
Counter-attack is concerned, and Marcus Phillips is finding him a little tricky as far as his pace is concerned, not to mention the goal that he scored, Steve.
Do you think he's any deeper tonight, Al? I mean, I think he's just playing fractionally in front of that back four.
Yeah, he seems to have a fairly free role, doesn't he? He can pick the ball up in front of the back four, and then he can create something behind the Maloney and Babbage up front, as he did for the goal. But He's certainly got the legs and the pace to trouble the midfield of Olympic for me.
Mendes. Cardozo on his right, sees him, uses him. Cardozo chips early into the back of Farah. Phillips' header falls to Zoricic. And Marcus Phillips gets it back. Oh, they're in each other's pocket, Mendes and Cardozo, and in each other's way, as it proves in the end. Kajanowski back to McDonald. Well, that was nearly a useful ball. Not sure what Eddie Lenny was ruling there.
Well, he was trying to play the advantage there, but unfortunately Sekenis didn't get a good touch. But they took this there and get him behind, as they did for the goal. They look much more dangerous.
Well, Babbage, if he's 100% fit, I'm Ian Rush. I mean, there's just still a sprinkling from the heavens. Oh, Bahutsis punches it away when he wasn't under too much pressure. Maloney. Well, Marconi will start to sense Bahutsis isn't at his confident best. The ball. Emerton's touch is tidied up eventually by Scott Bailey. I don't think either coach would be overly thrilled with the possession maintained by the... Oh, Rush! Rush still. Ian Rush scores for Olympic. That's what they came to see. A defensive lapse from Marconi. And Ian Rush is delighted to help out the club.
A beautiful ball it was knocked in. It beat just about everyone, but Cardozo, what a beautiful first touch. And you couldn't ask for a better one-on-one player in Ian Rush. He makes it look so simple. The ball delivered was superb. Cardozo's touch was equivalent. But here he is, the man that everyone came to see today, Ian Rush. Hundreds and hundreds of goals he scored. That's his first one in Australia, and Turnbull has to see it from a difficult angle.
Well, goal number 354 for the 38-year-old from Wales and Liverpool and Juventus, Wrexham, Olympic.
And the chance of going around now, Olympic, the rain comes down. Ian Rush may feel that he's back at home with this weather. And look at him, he's getting vocal. He's a newcomer to the team, but he's already proven why he is here for 2 games. Beautiful finish, made it look so simple, and continues to inspire.
Well, he got a very nice ball, but you called him a predator, Alan. I think that's the description, isn't it? He can snip out a goal, punish, and execute.
We well know, but yeah, great balance the game is sitting in right at this stage.
A lovely delivery, wasn't it, from Bailey?
Yeah, it was nice, Alan, wasn't it? It was just simplicity's been the byword, I think, for Olympic today.
Quick free kick taken, and Emerton. He's got Renault to try and get past. He does that. Turns and looks for the near post. Turnbull pretty much had it covered. But Olympic have come alive.
They're causing problems with the early free kick, and that was another one there. Emerton's full of passion and certainly full of confidence.
And he might run onto this. He's got the pace to bet. Past Smith, cuts back, and will win the corner. Well, they found their voice again. They went quiet for 5 minutes. Moving in the box from Bailey. He was closest to it. But, again, not what Franco Cellino would have been hoping for, I expect. Rush. Outside of the foot was trying to land one in Cardozo's lap, somewhat like that. Mendes. Rush. Care. And the free kick goes to Marconi.
A little nice touch.
He's twice his age. A credit to the man, 38, and he really is a great athlete.
Well, he is nearly twice his age. Kerr is 20. 18 years difference. And a lifetime in football. So 3 minutes away from the break. Cardozo. Plenty of time for Olympic to add another. Thomas. Smith's clearance towards halfway, but Bailey will do something with it. Chris Zoricic. Zorro. Born in New Zealand, former Brisbane player, fairly well travelled.
Well, he played 10 minutes last week, Zorro, but this is his first start.
Oh, Emerton presented with a mountain of space. But he could have done better with that.
To get back into this game.
Smith nods it forward, and Marconi have barely been in the Olympic half the last few minutes. Cardozo was trying to thread one through for Rush. It falls to him now. He'll be looking to pop it in the path of a teammate like Cardozo, but Turnbull first to it. Oh, that slipped off a wet boot, but it wasn't the best clearance from Turnbull. I think the players are looking for the break now. There are a few of them walking around, and it's nearly upon us. So Olympic into the Marconi penalty area 17 times. Marconi's 9 at the other end. Good domination. And 2-1. Could be a third. And just wide from Scott Thomas. Defenders here.
Well, once again, they're just slicing them down the middle at will, Sydney Olympic. And only the pace of Danny Invincible has really kept them with a clean sheet on that occasion.
Smith. Marconi in all sorts of bother. Renault. Emerton having a fine game in attack and defence. His pace and his skills really troubling Marconi.
Well, they really have been probably 60 to 70% of the time down this right flank with Emerton, haven't they, Sydney Olympic?
Chichi Mendez. Gabriel is given first name, but no more is Chichi. So they've got a couple of Argentinians in the team, Cardozo and Mendez. Shouldn't be too much stoppage time. Gibson. Rush, not quite. Farah. Rush contributing. Mendez. Certainly the left not as fruitful for Olympic as the right has been. Phillips. Kerr and Invincible. Back to Farah. And Marconi looking to escape down the left. So a touch over a minute, 2-1 at half-time. Saying he'd like to have the win rather than the goal. Well, he might get both. Because he's on the score sheet, and Olympic are up 2-1.
Well, it certainly was nice to hear what Ian Rush had to say, not only about Australia and the players that he's briefly going to play with, but also the Harry Kewell situation. I think it's very important that someone like that can voice his opinion, and it's one that may be important for the future for someone like Harry Kewell and others if we're going to qualify for the Magic World Cup.
Mendez. As Olympic look to carry on their good work from the first half, through Emerton on the right in particular. Good cross, Rush. Oh, tester for Turnbull, straight off.
And Ian Rush applauding the quality of that cross from Emerton. Maybe, as he said, he's still a little bit too old to climb and finish those, because he's finished so many goals like that playing for Liverpool.
Yes, Turnbull's just 18. And the free kick goes the way of Marconi. Care.
Just about to say that whether it's form or fitness or combination of both, your thoughts in the first half were that Sean Babbage is gone, on comes Zorich, and looks like a lone striking role at this stage to Chris Trajanowski.
Well, no disrespect to Trajanowski, but he didn't see too much of the ball in the first half, and he's going to be asked to do even more in the second. Interesting thoughts there from Ian Rush on the Harry Kewell situation, and Harry Kewell reported today as saying he's equally disillusioned with both Leeds and Soccer Australia. Very disappointed with the Leeds board, who issuing statements like, well, it's entirely up to Harry whether he plays or not, and that's plainly wasn't the truth. And Leeds have upset Harry Kewell in the form that he's in at the moment. Gibson. Care. Good skills from Care. Away. Initially from Thomas. Now Zoricic clears up towards halfway. Conditions in which Marconi will have to try and pull back this deficit.
The three great goals we've seen in the first 45 minutes. And obviously we'd like to see another three. But the midfield battle continues, and I think Christian Care could be a key. If he can get involved like McDonald now, we could have another great game.
Maloney. Oh, good save from Bahutsis. Closed in on Maloney. The ball didn't break that kindly for him. Marconi skipper. Care. Maloney only one goal so far this season, but scored a bag last year. The second top goal scorer. And the crowd on Eddie Lenny's case. We're giving the free kick to the visitors. Scott Thomas to be
important save.
Bahutsis. Yes, Maloney just had to wait half a second too long for the ball to arrive at his feet. And that was all Bahutsis needed to shut down the opportunity.
You just noticed a little bit of water sitting in some areas of the ground, Rob.
Yeah, Alan, it's just actually Brendan Reno on the ball then. Just had a pretty soft spell of the park, but again, I think I'm sure the players will get over this, but can Marconi get the momentum to get on? Vlado Zoric certainly always been a provider.
Has it now? What can he provide? Back with it. A couple of defenders arrive to dispossess him. Well, that's a kick in hope more than expectation, I think, from Brendan Reno. Cardozo wants to chase. Obviously didn't take Ian Rush long to recognise the skills that Pablo Cardozo possesses. And didn't they combine well for Ian Rush's goal? 5 minutes gone, second half, no change. Mendes. Leapt out of McDonald's challenge, but not the second from Gibson. McDonald. Plays it early. Finds Trajanowski. Maloney with him in the box. Trajanowski's got to turn it back. Well, that was promising from Marconi. Best effort, I'd say, from Trajanowski thus far.
Well, once again, instigated from the midfield. Care and McDonald. McDonald knocking that ball wide to Trajanowski, but not too much trouble there for Bahutsis to save.
So Kenneth works it down the left. Care. And Marconi win the throw-in, despite blue protests. And they were blue, a couple of them. McDonald. hustled out of it. Can Cardozo get to his feet? Oh, that is nearly a yellow card from McDonald.
Ball in the middle of the field.
Mendes to take it. And that was headed by Bailey.
Another sign, isn't it, that they missed the big guys in Babbage and Longo. Bailey basically unmarked there, and three Marconi players looking at each other, wondering what's going on.
It's Mark Babbage and Dominic Longo provide so much height and experience in the back for Marconi. Their absence, a real problem for the Stallions. Emerton.
Got to get more out of him on that right-hand side to support the Marconi attack in this second interval.
Yeah, I agree. They've really got to work that flank because it's so difficult with one man up front, and here he is now.
Bahutsis. That one. Smith, Shaw under it. Renault. Trajanowski. A couple of nice touches from the Stallions. So they need to string something together here. Well, they'll be looking at their second loss of the year. Their other one was a bad 4-0 home loss to Carlton. It all went wrong. McDonald. That's what he does. And Bahutsis takes it cleanly off the head of Mike Smith. You don't look so sure, Alan.
Well, he just seems a little bit shaky today, Bahutsis. I don't want to sound too harsh on him, but the weather's very trying. It's a lot easier from here.
You need the Velcro gloves today, don't you? You're the goalkeeper. Trajanowski turned away skillfully. McDonald. Great ball for Maloney, surely. Oh, and it's squirted wide. I think that's off Bahutsis. Didn't the keeper touch that? I thought that came off the keeper. Maloney certainly thought so.
Well, I was as certain as Maloney that it did. Great refereeing there. He's played the advantage there. An obvious foul. McDonald instrumental. Beautiful ball. The skipper does well, but it's Bahutsis. I'm sure that he saved that one. We may pick it up here.
Oh,
no doubt it's come off his hip.
That was goal bound. And the reason it didn't go into goal was Bahutsis. It came off him. Should have been a corner.
Amazing that neither official picked that one up, but credit to Bahutsis. I was a bit harsh on him earlier, but he certainly redeemed himself.
Yes, George, I was far nicer to you than Alan Hunter was. You got that? Good save. Maloney is a pretty good finisher. And there's no doubt, well, Bahutsis deserves some credit there. And the fact that it wasn't a corner means he doesn't get much, at least in the eyes of the crowd who didn't see what we saw.
Well, that could be a match-winning save. There's no doubt about that one. It could turn this game right around because Olympic have just started very slowly in the second half, Rob.
Yeah, I think maybe not a match winner, but certainly the impetus with Marconi and Maloney. Well, we always felt it was going to come from players like Smith and Maloney.
McDonald gets the yellow for the late one, which is great refereeing.
I think what we didn't see, Steve, was the extension of the excellent one-on-one tackles, either up front on the Marconi attacker or someone coming through. He'll be needed to get back on the park, but showing signs that he's going to immediately return.
Brad Maloney for Marconi. Tipped away again by Bahutsis. Well, he's had a great game, this keeper. you better start sticking up for Bahutsis. He's doing all right.
Well, that was very difficult because he didn't see that until very, very late, and he wasn't happy with his defenders. It took a nasty deflection early, and it was well left there, deliberate or not. And Bahutsis, the left hand, saves him again as the corner comes in.
Renault takes the corner. Far deeper this time, and the defence has less trouble than they did with a free kick. Smith. Gibson. Bahutsis up again. Punched it away. Trajanowski looked in good position, or Zoric it was. McDonald. Slightly overplayed it. People who've come to see a fine performance from Olympic and Ian Rush won't have been disappointed, but their team is forced to defend early stages, second half. Cardozo. And these clubs given up a lot of yellow cards this season. Olympic 21, Marconi 20 now, through nearly 8 matches. Vlado Zoric. Sajanoski down. Sekenis. Left knee looks okay. Wilson. Mendes. And offside.
Well, Ian Rush just remonstrating with the assistant referee as to how that player was interfering, and I've got to agree with him. Lovely little layoff wide, but there's no way in the world that Cardozo's interfering with play at that stage, and the shake of the head says it all.
A little bit of inexperience perhaps on the far side. I have to agree with you 100%, Alan. He wasn't blocking the vision of the goalkeeper or anything like that. Not involved in play, just working his way back on side. Trajanowski did enough. Oh, shove in the back from Maloney. And Eddie Lenny was waiting for the advantage.
One back and level this game.
So Bahoutzis looking at either Renault or perhaps Gibson. Try and work one rounder over the wall. And that was a good variation. One of the players at the ball turning a shoot and cleared off the line.
The skipper, Peter Sekenis, got back. How valuable is he?
Player of the match award, nearly. Well, it'd be tempting to give it to Ian Rush, wouldn't it?
That was a very nice variation. Obviously, a lot of homework's gone into that one during the week. They can come off just about anyone, including the defenders, but Sekenis read it well and had to be in the right spot and was.
Well, Bahoutzis needed some help there and got it from his captain. Now, Eddie Lenny's got to try and quieten things down here. These Olympic and Marconi derbies can be a bit lively. And Phillips.
Well, former teammates last year, but at this stage, it's starting to get fiery. And Marcus Phillips has lost his cool on that occasion.
4 yellow cards in the match now.
We'll probably pick it up here. McDonald in the thick of things again, but that's a nasty challenge. Comes in late, McDonald goes down, and there's no doubt the yellow card was deserved.
So Sekenis and Phillips. Oh, confusion at the back there for Olympic, and no damage done in the end because Rush and Trajanowski have a heavy clash.
Well, that just epitomises how the game's turned in Marconi's favour, because Ian Rush is now chasing back as Cardozo prepares to launch another attack.
Cardozo, quick throw in. They've got a couple of numbers here. Thomas. Zoric helps out. Kerr. There was an offside flag up against Marconi. Vlado Zoric on one side, Chris Zoricic on the other.
You just wonder how long Olympic will wait to go to the bench, because they just seem to have lost the venom. They haven't been able to retain the ball up front, and they really are giving away possession a lot easier than they were in the first half.
Mendes. Rush. Terrific ball for Emerton. Looking for his second. Emerton turns back inside. And the tackle from Smith deemed to be fair. Nothing given, no real appeal either from Olympic. They knew they were done there. Emerton had the ball for a long time. And I feel they might have done better with it. Perhaps they will now. Cardozo waiting for a mistake from Gibson. Olympic. Oh, we got offside against Olympic. Deep in Marconi territory. And Olympic just really struggling to sustain any period of attack. And
Steve, the other side of the ledge, I suppose, for Marconi is whether Krenkovic looks for Marcassini or for Carl to either replace someone up to add a little bit more life or to partner with Trajanovski up front. Something's got to happen very shortly for both sides.
Phillips, the pitch didn't help him there. Farah trying to hold it up. Phillips comes again. Emerton. Rush is unmarked on this side. Well, Thomas not able to help him out there. Phillips again. Phillips still. Cardozo, maybe. Zoricic it was. And Emerton, as quick as he is, that was too quick for him. The ball skipping away on the wet surface here at Belmore. Still a little bit of rain around, a few umbrellas about. But also on this side, some kids playing around in it. Well, that's a great save from Turnbull. Rush looking for his second.
And great skills from Mendes. Beautiful skills. Just flicked that one away to the champion. And Ian Rush, instinctive turn. Great shot and a great save.
McDonald. Bahoutzis comes. Opportunities at both ends. It's no change to the score. 2-1 Olympic. And the game needed opening up, and it's happened just in the last minute or two. Sekenis. Mendes. Wilson. Phillips. Phillips. Flag stays down. And another great save from Turnbull. Cardozo should slot those, really. One-on-one there and a lot of time.
Well, that's class from the youngster. Just too much space there, Marcus Phillips. It opened up. There was a doubt about the offside, but that's absolutely brilliant from the youngster there. Two great one-on-one saves in 1 minute. And he's kept his team in the game at this stage.
Against Ian Rush and Pablo Cardozo. No wonder Turnbull is so well thought of at Marconi.
And that one's gone out and come back in. So relief again for the Marconi defence.
Down for Marconi to jag one back into this encounter, but the Olympic, as we saw then, could have sealed the game quite easily.
Harry Carl, he played with Melbourne Knights, wasn't he? Flag up. Rush unhappy again.
Well, once again, it's Ian Rush that was in an offside position, but is he interfering with play? I say no way. Emerton wasn't offside in that position. As the ball's knocked through from Mendes, you'll see him skillfully get this one down, wins possession, and Rush is in an offside position, but there's no way he's interfering with play, and once again he remonstrates, and rightly so. Maybe he's just got the assistant on that side so nervous he's putting his flag up, I don't know.
Chad Gibson on this side for Marconi. McDonald. Zorich to Kerr. Maloney. Well, down he goes, but no foul there. Ian Rush keeps his feet, but the ball bounces away for Kerr. He's had a fine game. That's a bad tackle on Kerr. No yellow card, though, for Scott Thomas.
Well, he's on the borderline there. Kerr has been a little quiet in the past 5 minutes, but you're right, Steve. He's been a very instrumental player through the middle, and they need that to lift again.
McDonald. Phillips to beat. Danny Invincible take the throw in. Bahutsis is ready for maybe a long throw. Phillips heaves it over the sideline.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget tonight after the main match at 7 o'clock, we have the youth match between UTS Olympic and Marconi Stallions.
Rush. Rushed and retreated. Gibson. Gibson allowed to run. He's got a good right foot. Played it straight into Zoricic. Now they can see it away. Wilson. Played it into the back of McDonald, and Marconi get it straight back. Vlado Zoric. And Olympic will get the free kick. Now it's got a bit, and the tension of the occasion. Wilson. Maloney. Nearly skipper on skipper there as he runs into Sekenis now, and Sekenis happy to bump it out. Care. Zoric. Well, Marconi not succeeding in doing much more than knock it about a bit. Rush. Not this time. Mike Smith, Sun trying to burst through. A little difficult from this side to see the action that clearly, and Bahutsis maybe having vision problems as well, as he didn't spill an expensive one. Comes all the way back to Turnbull. .16 minutes left for Olympic. Perhaps come up with their first win at home this season. I'm sure it won't be their last. Their high position on the table reflecting the good form that they bring to round 8. Slips away from Smith, but sun shower at Belmore.
And Steve, time enough for Branko Kalina to go to the sidelines, to the bench, sorry, and look to put one of very strong substitutions on in Platko and Basic.
Wilson. Wilson still. And he's brought down by Harry Carl. It's only been on the field a couple of minutes, and Harry gets a yellow. Rush is leaving the field, having scored a goal in the 38th minute. It's given some reward to the club, inviting him out here and paying him handsomely, it must be said. On comes Zlatko Aaron-Basic.
And there's one for Zlatko Aaron-Basic's scrapbook. You can tell the family for a long time that he came on to replace Ian Rush.
And many of the fans on that side of the field quickly to their feet to thank Ian Rush for his contribution. And that clears everyone. The free kick taken by Mendes. He shrugged his shoulders and said, why didn't somebody get onto that?
Truth be known, Aaron-Basic would have started today without Ian Rush. He's been in great form and certainly will lift. He has a great understanding as well with Cardozo.
25 fouls in the game so far. Yes, Aaron-Basic been on the score sheet this year. Croatian-born striker. He's played a fair bit in Europe, France, Holland and Belgium. I feel the game's lost its way a bit in the last 10 minutes. Its real purple patch was the middle stages of the first half.
Still in the balance though, isn't it?
Sekenis. Always one moment of brilliance from Marconi would certainly wake up Olympic. They look like they're content to just do enough at the moment, the home side. And Marconi can thank that man, Michael Turnbull, that they're not 4-2 down, 4-1 down. Wilson. Oh, that's a poor ball, has to be said. And I don't think Lindsay Wilson would write this one up as his most outstanding game.
Been very well played on, though, hasn't he, by Danny Invincible.
His Olympics' best progress has been down the right, like now. And Aaron Bassett nearly set it up for Emerton. Emerton's been very close to a second goal on a couple of occasions. Still got a Marconi player down in the box.
Standing though, Aaron Bassett flicked that one inside early, and it was Mike Smith colliding with his own goalkeeper.
Not possible to say exactly when he hurt himself there.
And it made you force a rethink, because Krenkovic was just about to make a substitution. Marcassini was about to come on the field, but Smith's still hobbling, Steve. I'm not sure which way it's going to go.
Smith working his way to the corner, receive a bit more attention. Mendes. Nice turn from Aaron Bassett. And he's added a little bit of spark up front. Care. That's a good ball. Carl. Back to Renault. Zorich and Maloney waiting for it, but the Olympic defence is there. Mendes plays on. Aaron Bassett waiting for something. Mendes. Well, that's a great run from Chichi Mendes.
Great stamina by Mendes, but also good vision, because he could have released that early, but I think Aaron Bassett was in an offside position. Great tenacity there by the defender to get a touch in the end. Did very well, but the corner comes across shortly.
Oh, side netting, but that'll be another corner. I'm sure you're right. He couldn't pass to Aaron Bassett. Olympic looking for the third goal, which would surely be the clincher. Phillips. And Maloney arrived in time to stop the full-blooded strike getting away. Mendes. Oh, great skills. Cardozo puts it on a plate for Aaron Bassett. Oh, and Turnbull saves again. He got away a powerful header, and Turnbull, from a couple of metres, saves Marconi once more.
Quality all over the park. That's an absolute beautiful header there. It was like a salmon. Fantastic save once again from the youngster. The quality was from Mendes. Flicked it wide to Cardozo. Cardozo's cross was a gem. And the header, just have a look at the power in that. And the youngster, no problems at all. He loves it at the moment.
And another Marcassini from the Talentino club in Italy.
Substitution made by Marconi, Stallions.
Corner for Olympic. Deep one. Emerton fouled his man. Bit of a push. Yeah. Bailey's header. And the free kick will go to Marconi. And Mendes at Olympic really seems to have blossomed, Alan. He's used only sparingly at Northern Spirit. Admittedly, he came in halfway through the season last year after injury, but...
Well, he has. He's had a tragic run of injuries over the past few years, and everyone knows what he's capable of. It's just whether he can do it consistently. And he probably knows that himself, but such a beautifully gifted player he is. But it's Marconi now with Carl, the substitute, that really have to turn this game around if they're going to get something out of it. And there's Mendes. He loves it. He loves to have a touch, and he loves to create things. And he's done that quite well at times today.
It's South American pedigree. Smith off the outside of the wood. Cardozo beats one. And Turnbull did not muck around, he doesn't. Wilson sends it back from whence it came, and well, player retreating back onside, but I guess the flag had to go up. Only 6 minutes to go.
It looked pretty sharp at the back.
No danger there. Nearly catches the train going past. Would have been on its way to the city, that ball. Canterbury Bankstown Rugby League Club, which has used this ground for many years, no longer calls it home. Certainly home for Olympic, and they've got a good pitch here. Ground just coming up to what it could be. And Olympic playing well. Looking for their first win here. 4 wins away. Who lost on Friday night. Smith hurrying back. Aaron Basic trying to be first to it. Smith on tiring legs. Comes again. Zorisic. Smith again. He'll be asking, having his hand up saying, replace me shortly. He's giving plenty. But so too is Mendes for Olympic. Aaron Basic can't hold it up. Offside is Emerton.
Starting Olympic player. Gabby Mendes had a really nice, simple first-time touch. Really did well in confined situations today, and I think he earned his win bonus fairly well today, Steve.
Yeah, I don't think anyone who saw it will forget his run down the right some 5 or 7 minutes ago that nearly resulted in Olympics third. And he's contributed in many other ways today. So Peter Zorbas on. And Olympics still have Nick Carl to make use of if they want to. Wilson. Just 3 or so minutes left. Stoppages, of course. And again, I don't think there'll be too much of that. We had a bit over a minute in the first half. Stoppage time. Smith. Cardozo with him. And can see Savinsky, Tomei and Augurinas. Cardozo now. Oh, that's got a bit much on it for Emerton. Roast dinners we've been reading about recently.
Been a very polished performance from Emerton down that flank. Renault's one of the strongest competitors on the left-hand side of the field in the National Soccer League, but Emerton really has shone today, and they've used him quite a lot.
Brisbane playing Sydney United today. Not far away. And depending on that result, were Brisbane to lose, it'll make it a very close thing at the top of the table, because Brisbane and Olympic have a very similar for and against. Cardozo, oh, great touch. Here's a chance for Olympic to make it 3-1. And Gibson heads it over. Well, they had numbers. Olympic corner. And Turnbull stands tall. And progress score from that Sydney United. A few whistles in the crowd as the Olympic fans sense that their team is just moments away from their 5th victory of the season, but their first at Belmore. 2 draws and a loss here so far. As we mentioned, 4 away from home. Into stoppage time now, and Eddie Lenny will be starting to check the watch. He does so now.
At this stage, it looks like Olympic will do that.
Yes, third versus fourth, and it's been the good even contest we expected. Just one goal separating them, it looks like, as we near full time. They had a win apiece over each other last season. They both won at home, and they're going to, it looks like, start the same way this season. Opportunities and time running out for Marconi. A few fans starting to leave, pretty confident that the home side's going to do it. The lovely finish to good work from Cardozo. Fred Emerton's goal, and Christian Kerr's strike was a beauty. It beat Bahutsis. Started shakily, but then made a couple of great saves, but so too as Michael Turnbull for Marconi. Score could have been anything, really, except for some great goalkeeping at both ends. Marconi still with a chance, but Scott Bailey down to one now. The crowd reminding Eddie Lenny as if he needs it. The time is all but up. Olympic should be able to clear now. Not far. Kerr's got it. And full time is blown by Eddie Lenny. And a memorable debut made by Ian Rush. He scored.